what's going on? Welcome back one more time to Wild Finds, where I'm searching thrift stores for media items. Let's see what we can find. And are there any sales? Yes. Buy $20 worth of clothing and receive 75% off, and everything else is 50% off. Nice. But what the heck is going on here? Looks like they moved the DVD section. I hope they still carry them. Okay, so they're in the process of moving the stuff right now. And okay, I'm jumping in here with a voiceover. Now, the guy who works here is super nice. He actually gives me permission to film, but it is super awkward to record a video with someone in the same room as you, like right behind you. But anyways, look, Pee-wee's Playhouse. Cool find right there. I was obsessed with Pee-wee as a little kid, believe it or not. I'm sure you can believe that. And what else we got? We got Inspector Frost, I think it is. I look at the BBC ones, but that one isn't really worth anything. And what's this right here? We got an episode 3 that looks very bootleg, because it isn't bootleg. That's why it looks bootleg. And something right there, I'm not sure what that was. And I'm browsing, I'm going, what do we have? Do we have something here? Ooh, what's that? And that's a Strange Witchcraft 2, and it's in like this cardboard sleeve, but the DVD itself is in a CD case. Very unique item there. Definitely very old when DVDs like first came out. And then we have these CSI ones that they've had for a while. Most things are $1. These ones are priced individual at $5, so I'm not really interested in those too much. I'd say that they're $1, but today's everything is 50% off, so every DVD I'm grabbing is 50 cents. I think about buying that Knight Rider. That's one I put aside to look up. It turns out to not be worth anything, but the Sword and Sorcerer, I'm definitely grabbing that for myself. And then I'm browsing a little bit more. Caddyshack 2. No, we can leave Caddyshack 2. We have one, I don't know what that is. And what's up there? We cut to this to cut out the boring parts. There's a documentary about a castle, and very obscure DVDs like that can have value, so I put that aside, and I do end up grabbing that one. What else do we got? Oh, some Godzillas. Gotta love that big old lizard, Godzilla versus Mothra. And that's a bootleg Wonder Woman set right there. And just take a little peek at it. But we put that back. The guy working walked away, so it's no longer a voiceover. We'll do it live, just like Bill O'Reilly. And look at what we got here. VHS, the Banjo-Kazooie Nintendo 64 tape. Like a promotional tape, it would show you the game. I find these from time to time. These go for like maybe $5 to $8 or so plus shipping. Oh, Heck Razor, nice. I get a little startled because the guy came back. We're back to a voiceover. I found an obscure movie called Ski Trippin'. Gonna grab that one. And what's that, Deep Cover? I don't think I ever saw that one. That one didn't really interest me too much. I'm moving things aside here. Rearranging stuff. There's gotta be something back there, right? Oh, you know it. Rodan. Nice. Boop, 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 boop. That's the noise when you find something good. Flashback. So I have that on DVD, but I haven't watched it yet. What do we got here? Michael Jackson's Thriller, directed by Jonathan Landis. The music video with behind the scenes. I've found that a couple times, but definitely a good find. And back to being live here. Found this one, Fuego, Something Weird video. That's owned by the guy who directed Basket Case, Frank Henenlotter. So definitely grabbing this one here. The Guyver, but this is definitely a bootleg. At least the cover is bootleg. And so is the DVD. It's actually the Guyver 2. I've never seen that one. And we got Godzilla King of the Monsters, still brand new. Nice. Children of Dune, still brand new. Nice. I've actually sold this before in the past. And okay, I'll look around a little bit more and I'll let you know what else I find. And okay, grabbed a lot of good stuff there. You saw most of it. Some stuff I didn't show. Q the Winged Serpent. Now, I have this on VHS, but here's the DVD. Fantastic right there. Great movie, great time. And I used to work at Stop and Shop, and there was a guy, his nickname was Q. His last name started with Q, so people called him Q. And he had a really high-pitched voice. He sounded like high-pitch Eric from the Howard Stern show, except for it was also gravelly. So he was like, hey, how's everybody doing? That's kind of what he sounded like. But he seemed like a nice guy. Anyway, Q the Winged Serpent. Very glad to find that one right there. We got a couple CDs here. Bob Seger, Greatest Hits 2, still brand new. Common, Like Water for Chocolate, still brand new. This one was very cool. Fugazi, looks like a single. And you don't find Fugazi stuff in the wild very often, so very nice right there. This brand new DVD here I looked up just because I wasn't sure if it was worth anything, and it turns out it is worth about $20, believe it or not. So sometimes things can surprise you. I didn't think this would be worth much, but it is, so very good. Found this one right here, Problem Child 1, 2, and 3, 3-disc set. But this is region 2. But sometimes they'll say region 2, but they'll actually be all region. And hopefully that's the case with this one right there. The first two are classic. I've never seen the third one. It has a different kid in it. It's probably really, really bad. But yeah, very nice right there. Got this one, seems to be morning radio DJs right there. The Water Boy, and believe it or not, this goes for like maybe like $16 or so because it's still brand new. Blu-ray right there. And Roll Bounce, I looked this one up and it seems to have a little bit of value as well. Also got this one right here. Who knows what the quality is going to be like on this, but it looks interesting. Thunder Ninja Kids Little Kickboxer. I'm not sure if this is 2 movies in one, but interesting. More here. We showed these. Ooh, this one, Trapper County War, with Don Swayze. That's Patrick Swayze's brother. And this looks right up my alley. Ernie Hudson's in there. Very nice, very nice. Got Catch and Release. I'll watch this just because Kevin Smith just has an acting role in this. It just seems like it would be interesting to watch him as an actor. This one looks obscure. I'll try to resell that. The Sword and the Sorcerer. I don't think I own this. Fun movie right there. And last we have Paul Blart Mall Cop. Now I make fun of this movie, but I've never actually seen it, so I should watch it so I can make fun of it properly. It might not be that bad. I give a heavy pass to a lot of comedies that are kind of lame. I just think comedy movies most of the time are pretty fun, so I'll check that out. Why not? Okay, new day here. I'm gonna be taking a visit to this nice thrift store here. Let's see what they got inside. And here we are. Hopefully they got some new stuff here. Looks like some new bins. Maybe it's just the old stuff rearranged. Who knows? I'll look through here and let you know what I find. Okay, and in this bin right here, they have all these called midwife seasons. So they definitely got new stuff donated. I didn't see these the last time I was here, which was about a month ago. And everything's 5 for $1. And okay, found a lot of good stuff here. I'm sure many of my viewers know that I live in Florida, and also we all know in Florida there's lots of elderly people, especially when you get outside the city centers. There's like big communities, like 55 plus communities where elderly people live, and that means I find a lot of old-timey movies a lot, like these right here, which is cool. A lot of them have value, but the sad reality is someone with a nice collection probably kicked the bucket. I try not to focus on that aspect of it. It is a little bit depressing, but it's better that someone buys it who's gonna use it for something than it just getting tossed in the garbage. But anyways, yeah, these are what I found right here. Band of Brothers. Now, I guarantee you the person bought this and liked the show, so when the DVD came out, they upgraded. So yes, this probably had the same owner right there. We have Sharpays, is that how you pronounce it? Like the dogs, like 2 Sharpay dogs, or is it Sharps? I never knew, but these sometimes have value, especially if you lot them together. So grab that one right here. We got the Call the Midwife seasons right there. And then these right here, we have like one PlayStation game. I wish there was more, but you just have the one right there. And then some of these might have value. They're 20 cents each, so I didn't look any of these up. But if they're valuable, I'll put the little, you know, the little comp next to the sold item. And these are ones I thought had potential. Norma Ray, that actually kind of looks like it could be a good movie. Nice. And then these archive collections, I'm definitely buying brand new ones when I find those. This is a print on demand one. Palm Beach Anti-Aging Summit. The owner of these DVDs, you know, never opened this, and that might be the problem on why they may have passed away. That's very sad right there. These right here, Daddy's Little Girl. Now, looking at the back, this like clearly was shot on a digital camera, and it doesn't look like it was a very good digital camera. So this might not be the best movie. It kind of looks like it's a little bit depressing, but I might check that one out. The remake of Pet Sematary, not the greatest movie, but it was okay. Definitely worth grabbing for the price though. Mad Max, I might keep this. I might resell it depending on how much it goes for. The Strangers Chapter 1, I'll keep this for myself. Mama, I might have bought this before but never got around to watching it, but I'll pick it up maybe for the second time. There you go. Okay, so I have 23 items. They charge in increments of 5, so I decided to look for 2 more items, and I found this right here, From the Cage to the Street, and I did look this one up, and it seems to go for about 30 bucks, so I'm glad I came back and found this one. And I'll grab Straight Talk with Dolly Parton. Now, Dolly Parton is awesome. Hopefully this is an entertaining movie. It should be. And we got books here. There's an Amish section, but how do you resell to Amish people? They don't use eBay. Did find this book right here, The Invisible Man. Now I like books that are thin because they don't take long to read, and also they can fit in my pocket and I can whip them up when I'm bored. Now at this next thrift store here. Okay, so they didn't really have any DVDs worth grabbing over there, but they did have some books here. We have Death Note Black Edition. And this was in youth books, but I don't really think this is appropriate for the youths, but it does look cool. I'm definitely going to read this. And they also had the Quest 64 strategy guide, which is just kind of funny. This game is somewhat of a meme online because it's just like kind of lame. Super Nintendo had some of the best RPGs of all time, and then Nintendo 64, you get Quest 64, and that's it. And okay, those are some of my thrift store finds over the last couple weeks, but wait, there's more. I also went to the Goodwill a couple times, and I did okay, not too bad. I found a bunch of video game stuff here, and now I was very excited when I saw this Monster Rancher. And Monster Rancher is a very unique game where it's kind of like Pokemon, you battle monsters against each other, but the way you create your monsters is you take the game disc out of your PlayStation, and then you put in a music CD, and it creates like a custom, one-of-a-kind monster. So, very unique game right there, but unfortunately the wrong game was inside. But fortunately it's Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, which is a fun game with some value, so definitely better than it just being empty. But I wish the Monster Rancher was in there, but what can you do, right? And other video game stuff here, nothing too crazy there. Borderlands, nice. These right here are arcade compilations for the computer. This was kind of funny. They had Bloodsport 3, and they had 2 copies of Bloodsport 4, including this one in like the plastic case. And I've never seen either of these, so very happy to find those right there. That's a Sons of Anarchy, but it looks like an Asian bootleg, the complete series, but it is a bootleg. But yeah, it was 59 cents, so I grabbed it. There's the Saturday Night Fever with the fancy shirt. Kind of a unique item right there. Grab that one for resale. Now this one actually looks pretty good. Daltrey Calhoun, I've never heard of that before, with Johnny Knoxville, and it's produced by Quentin Tarantino. Well, executive producer at least. That means he put the money up for it. But besides that, really probably wasn't involved at all. But yeah, it looks like a cool movie right there. Very nice, very nice. California Split, that looks like it could be a good time. The Sci-Fi Boys, about directors who are like obsessed with sci-fi movies. very nice right there. We got some Lost, still brand new. These 3 are all brand new. And that's even Lost Season 2 Blu-ray brand new. Stir of Echoes, I've never seen this movie, so I had to grab that. And I might watch Peter Rabbit. Anywho, we got more here. 10 VHS, that's still brand new. Rose Red, that's still brand new. The Lost World, Bloodstone DVD. This looks like something I would like. This looks like a good time right there. In Tideland, that's brand new. This is used, I've actually watched this before. Zachary, he's a horror host. And more here. This book seems to be pretty valuable, about $20, $25. What's funny about these Asian CDs right here, like 3 years ago I had never seen one of these, and now I find them all the time. So I grabbed that one right there. We have a CD. We got some books here. Damien, Omen 2 novelization. I like novelizations because like you can picture what the characters look like. Maybe I just have a bad imagination, but I want to know what they already look like. My mind has to do less work that way. So yeah. We have a Wired here, which is a John Belushi biography. Death Watch, that could be good. The Black Death. Now that looks awesome. Look at that cover. Brain Dead. Novelization. The Howling. I was very happy to find this right here, the Velvet Underground box set right there. We got some Star Wars books, cool covers on those right there. We got some kids books, the Pac-Man activity book, and the Ninja Turtles storybook of the movie. This right here is awesome. This is actually one of my favorite movies of all time. We got this art book right here. Things like this can be valuable, especially because it's signed by the artist. So I had to grab that one. We also got some records here. The Best of Creedence Clearwater Revival and the Creedence Clearwater Chronicle. Ella and Lewis again. This one seems to be valuable. So grab these 2 right here. And finally, this book right here has crazy, crazy artwork. This thing looks really cool. I think I'll read this one. But that's going to do it for this video. I do appreciate you watching. Go ahead, like and subscribe. Leave me a comment, and I'll see you next time around.